This week, I would like to discuss what I think is one of the greatest moral challenges. And here's a way to put it. It's the moral challenge of dealing with the complications in our communities and traditions. One of the challenges with any institution, any tradition, any family, even with ourselves, is dealing with the ways that something can go wrong, and sometimes something can go really wrong. And then how do we relate that to the community or the tradition, for example, where that emerges? I think one of our great challenges right now is the desire to want to have a clear view of what is the perfect community or the perfect institution, or have a clearly perfect institution or clearly perfect community, when this is not something that we can have, unfortunately. I wish we could, but as a Christian, if you're living between Genesis 3 and Revelation 21, you know that that's not going to be the case. So we are going to be living with communities and traditions that to some degree are going to remind us that all is not as it should be. Now, when people have not as it should be type experiences, sometimes they can be things that just bother us a little bit, but sometimes they can be quite devastating. They can be the kinds of things that are disorienting, or they can bring disillusionment to people. What do you do when that happens? It's an important question to ask, because what can occur, and sometimes what I think maybe even gets encouraged to occur, is we can think that what's gone wrong in our community or in our tradition, that what's gone wrong is actually telling us what is the real truth about a community or tradition. I always like to say that is a great question to ask, but asking that question doesn't mean that the answer is the negative one that I expect. We need to actually do the exploration. But here's also why that's complicated. What if you're the one that's experienced the disillusionment, experienced the disappointment, experienced devastation even? Your experience of the institution or of a community can make you really want to step away. You take a vacation, go on a hiatus or something. That all makes perfect sense, because we have to deal with things that have gone wrong and they've landed on us. And sometimes they land on us in a very heavy way. But still, the work that also goes on is asking, is this really telling me the genuine truth, the ultimate truth about a community or an institution? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but we have to do that work. And I think having the patience to do that work can be really hard. It can be really hard because, at least sometimes for myself, I want the quick and easy resolution. In fact, I want it to just be perfect is what I would like it to be. But the reality is that that is not where we are. We are not in the realized kingdom of God. So it's not going to be perfect. So what can it be? Well, I think we can find ourselves in situations where a person may need to at least change their kind of relationship to an institution or a community for a while, whether that's if it's a church, going to a different church, hanging out with different people, talking to others, in some cases talking with people who are counselors and therapists to deal with what's gone wrong. In some cases, if it's been criminal activity, we need to pursue justice in those situations. But all that needs to happen also against the larger backdrop of saying, well, what is this tradition? What is this community? What is it really? What is its best face? What is its best self? What are the things to which it actually aspires, like it says it aspires, to which it says it aspires? And is that really what it's doing? Is it really after those aspirations, or is that cover for the things that are negative and bad and devastating? We have to do that work. Doing that work is hard. And I think it's especially hard because we get so much information about things that have gone wrong. And of course, things that go wrong get more attention than things that go right. So the challenge is to say, okay, is it only these things that go wrong? Do they really reveal what's really there? Or are they telling me that there's a distortion or a dysfunction of what is a better thing? We have to consistently be doing that work. It's hard. It's a real challenge. but I think it's a challenge that we have to face up to, and a challenge that we need to pursue, and particularly in this time when we're tempted to just seek a quick and easy answer. When the fact of the matter is, it's not easy. There isn't an easy answer very often.